Welcome, everyone. We are live. It's Wednesday. It's been cloudy for the past couple of days. And I said, let me look outside. Oh, it is still cloudy. But Orion and Taurus are right in front of my face. And the Big Dipper right in front of my face. And there's clouds spattered in between. And I was like, aw, you came just for me today? That is so nice. Because they're so pretty. Like, there's just something to be said about an experience. There's something to be said about an experience. We learn things. We learn, yes. But when you have an experience through what you have learned, that's the life changer. That is the life changer. It's like learning to bake cookies for the first time. You know, it is allegedly Christmas time. So I'll be baking my famous Russian shortbread cookies. Oh, they melt in your mouth, let me tell you. Why did I tell you that? Because the first time I saw the recipe, I was like, well, this is nice. But then when I experienced making them, I thought, wow, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but this is going to be amazing. Because the dough was so soft. But then when I bit into one and I let it sit on my tongue and it melted, I said, oh, this is glorious. So now I can say from that experience what I had. Like, we are going to do things in our lives, but it is those experiences that we do, they shape and they mold us, good, bad, or indifferent. The experience is what molds us. You see, we can talk about something all day long if we choose. We can talk about God. We can talk about this. We can talk about that. But until you experience it, that's where the true magic is. Magic, I use loosely, because it isn't magic, is it? But it is the experience. So seek to have the experience. The experience. What do you want to feel? What do you want to learn? And the way to do it is to apply what we learn, and that is what brings about the experience. The application of what we know, the application of what we've learned. That is the beauty, the absolute beauty of living. It is an experience after all, is it not? So how do you want to live? That's the question I'm asking you today to ponder. Ponder it in your mind's eye. How do I want to live? What types of experiences do I want to have? And then you begin to define it. You won't always be able to put it into words. Heavens knows I've tried. I have tried. But there's just some things that words cannot describe or encompass. They're just felt and experienced. And they leave you full. They leave you in awe. That's what I'm trying to convey to you this morning. Is that there is a beauty. But to truly grasp that beauty, you must experience it. But where is the beauty? It rests in your bosom. Oh, I know you don't believe me, or you're a little bit skeptical, and that's okay. But you too will have an experience where you will say, well, dang, this is, this is amazing. And that's the only word you'll be able to say sometimes. Wow. That's what I want for you. the beauty of that. I saw a good friend of mine this morning. It's her wedding anniversary, and she posted some photos with them, and I just felt so warm and fuzzy watching her, just because I remember what she was like single. I vividly remember what she was like, and this is a completely different person. There's more life, more joy in this person. And when she's always had a beautiful smile, but now when she smiles, it's a whole different experience because she's smiling from a different place. Why? Because she's experienced something beautiful. You can see it. And so that's that's just what moved me this morning, to remind us that experiences are what make us. And sometimes we have not so fun experiences, not so good ones. But if you look in it, if you examine that experience, you will rise above it. I'm talking about the challenging experiences that we have. Examine it. And when you examine it, you will notice that you became something through that experience. Do you like it? Do you like what you became? Or do you want to become something else? Well, as a master craftsman, you have the ability to mold and shape. You have the ability to mold and shape. And you know how they say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. Ugh, I am not a fan of that phrase. But if you consider yourself to be a master craftsman and you don't like the shape this one has taken, reshape it. What do you mean reshape it? It means what was meant to break you just became something for you to use to make yourself greater. But you won't know till the experience, right? When you have an experience, then you'll know, oh, I like this one, or ooh, not so much this one. But you take what was good from it, if there was something good from it, and you reshape it into something more beautiful. That's what we do. When you look at the rose bush right now, it's like naked, okay? The raspberry bushes are like naked. But when you prune them, you give them a better way of expressing themselves into something more beautiful. The blossoms are far greater. The fragrance is better for the roses, and so is the bounty from the raspberry bush. And all you did was cut away what you thought was ugly. Now, in the garden, you cut it away physically. In the garden of your mind, you cut it away psychologically by turning your attention towards what is there, the potential that is there, the potential that is within you. You turn your attention towards that, and that is how you prune what is no longer useful to you. A psychological pruning. And then what happens? You know as well as I know that when you prune something, it brings forth much more life. Well, when you psychologically turn your attention towards the potential that you hold, towards the beauty that is there within you, you know exactly what happens. You blossom and you grow into it. So that is the encouragement for you, my beautiful friends, today, is to have the experience. Just have the experience. But the experience is not random. The experience is predetermined by your choice. Every cause has its effect, and every effect its cause, which means it can only unfold in that one way. It can only unfold. If it's peas, you can only unfold as peas. So that's what I'm saying to you this morning. Choose the type of experience you want to have. Just by naming it, by defining it. And it will make you feel a particular way. And when you feel that way, when you allow yourself to feel it, then you know, it is done. And you go about your day and you revel in the fact that I just called something that was not. I called it as though it were, and it becomes. That's what you did. That's what we do. Good, bad, or indifferent, we call it into existence. Oh, indeed. And that's the beauty. You call it into existence, you can call something else into existence, and you will create a most beautiful experience for yourself, because life is an experience. That is what it is. It's an experience. Okay, Z. Well, you get the butter and the sugar, and you start making some cookies. They usually have the same base, cream and sugar, and you beat it until it's light and fluffy. And then you add your egg. And what do you want in there? Well, and then your vanilla, depending on what kind of cookie you want, but cookies start with the same base. See, the same foundation every time. Everything has a foundation. Muffins have a foundation. Bread has a foundation. And you think for some reason that you don't have a foundation? But you do. Learn the foundation, learn the fundamentals, and you can build and expand onto anything, thereby creating a most beautiful experience in your life. And that is what I wanted to tell you today. That you can create beautiful experiences. But perhaps you don't know what experience you would like to have. Will you take a moment? You just take a moment and you ask yourself, how do you want to feel? Oh, yeah, right there. And the moment you ask yourself how you want to feel, and you feel it, and can you feel it? Can you feel it? And when you say, oh, yes, I want to feel like that. Well, one, you just did. That's how you identified what you wanted to feel like, by feeling it. And then what happens? Something happens in the day, and you feel like the thing you said you wanted to feel like. It's not hocus pocus, y'all. But you won't know until you apply. Apply the principles. Know what you want by first knowing that you are. Are you not? I talked to my daddy yesterday, and there's some things he just cannot remember. He says, I forget. And I said, but Daddy, who are you? He says, I'm me. I said, indeed you are. I said, as long as you know that you are, you'll be all right. So that is something I am experiencing at the moment, vicariously through my father. You know? So it is always going to be an experience. So just begin to comprehend that we are comprised of the experiences that we have. You don't judge the experience. You just decide, better, and get a better one. Make a better one. That's it. But the experience is dependent upon you. You have to choose it. You have to choose it. And sometimes we choose deliberately, and other times, well, we choose unwittingly. But either way, we choose. We choose. I just want you to see how beautiful you are today. That's what I want. And, well, I always get what I want, don't I? I do. More often than not, I'll tell you that. Because I know. Because I know. That's why I get it. Because I know what I am. Just take your time. You don't have to rush it. You can't force it. You just have to have the desire. And it unfolds. It unfolds. Whether it be romance, whether it be a new job, whether it be more money in the bank, how would that make you feel? If I ask her that now, she'll tell me. And she'll give you those big moony eyes and she'll swoon. And she's like, oh my God, he's like so sweet. And I'm like, I know, right? And she's just sitting there and she just glows. And she'll pause when she talks and she just tells you how great he is. And you can't help but listen because it's fascinating. But you can feel everything she feels. And then when she draws, well, listen, if you are an artist, one of the best places to draw from is love. Oh, indeed. It changes your artwork. It changes how you mold and shape the clay. It changes, and she's a seamstress too. But when she draws, and then she sketches, and then she cuts out that thing, she makes swimsuits, and oh, I'm just looking at her like, well, damn, you should have been in love a lot longer. If this is just the tip of the iceberg, and you are creating these magnificent pieces, mind you, she's always been talented. That was never up for dispute. But there's a whole different experience that you get from that place. So, today, my beautiful friends, what kind of experience do you want to have? How do you want to feel? See, because now you're using the principle of cause and effect. You're like, well, I don't know the experience yet, but I know how I want to feel. Ah, and if you know how you want to feel, you will bring about the experience, the cause for the experience. Why? Because every effect has its cause. That's why. That's why you get the feeling. The feeling is the effect. And the effect that you want will bring about the cause because they go together. Effect is not way back here saying, hey, cause, catch up. Cause is not saying, wait for me. No. They're like, walking hand in hand, swinging hands. Cause and effect are together. That is why when you say it is finished, you're not pretending or trying to make yourself believe that it is finished. You understand that the effect that you feel brings the cause because they travel together. That's why you can say, I have. Because the moment you feel, you have. The moment you feel it, you have it. You could not have it if you did not feel it. You bring about the effect, which is the feeling, the motion, the mood, the attitude. And you have it. And what gets us though is because you can't touch it in the physical instantly. Because you cannot touch it instantly, the feeling travels faster. Light travels faster than sound because light is sound. It's one thing. Cause and effect are one thing. That's why when you feel it, you have it. But your eyes would want to deceive you and say, no, it's not. My bank account is still negative. But if you persist in the feeling, because the feeling is like bamboo. Persist in the feeling and it burrows its way down deep inside of you. And then it sprouts. It has to take root first before it sprouts, or else what happens? Without a root, you are not sustainable. So you take your time and you feel what you feel, and you feel it. And as you feel it, you know that it is taking root within you. Neurologically, you doggone right it is. You're setting down a neurological pathway. And it is the repetition of the feeling that solidifies the neurological pathway so that you don't have to remember how to do it. You'll just be it from there on because it is following the pathway you set down mentally. And that is why, as within, so without. I keep telling you, your eyes may only feel like they're deceiving you when you don't see it. But so long as you feel it, it makes its presence known. I'm giving it to you raw today. Jesus. Oh, here come the clouds. But I can still see the belt, Orion. Hey, Jupiter. See, that's what happens in our lives. They've just been obscured by the clouds. But you have to know that they are there. You have to know. So you know that you can get the feeling, right? You know that you can make yourself feel good. You know you can make yourself feel bad. You know you can make yourself feel a little confused. You know this. Well, keep feeling the feeling you want to have. And as you continually feel it, as you persistently feel it, you are releasing a chemical cocktail in your body that tells you you're forming a neurological pathway in your brain. And from that neurological pathway in your brain, that thing now becomes a rhythm for you. And then the neurological pathway, the rhythm of it, must show up in the outside world to show you what you have within your brain, your neurological pathways. This is nothing I'm pretending about or making up. I'm telling it to you like this so that you will understand that what you want, feel it over and over and over again, regardless of how challenging it might be, that you don't see it. But it is the feeling that tells you it is real. Well, the feeling of anxiety, the feeling of depression, these are things that we can't see them, but we feel them, don't we? And then you get the feeling in your chest, don't you? It is exactly the same way of how you would feel if there was more money in your bank. If you were with the love of your life, love of my life. But don't let me start in here today. Anyway, don't let me keep you. Who's in the space today? Let's go. I see you. YouTube on, I say Twitter. Let's go. And YouTube. Hello, John. As always. I see you here on Facebook. I don't know who's on YouTube and Twitch, but I know who's on Facebook this morning. Who's on Fanbase today? Miss McQueen. Oracle Treehouse. Hey, Matthias. Big Mike is in the house. Joaquin. Hey. Ray KZ. Where did Flo Smiles go? I see you all. Oh, I've never heard that song before, Big Mike. These are the makings of you by Curtis Mayfield. Never heard it. I know his name, but I've never heard that song. Pardon me. Oh, here's my water. Mm. So, my beautiful friends, I shall grab that AM chime, and you may get chicken. I don't know. He was singing early this morning, talking about, I love you, mama. It's time to get up. And so I did. Oh, which one? This is daytime. Let's get morning. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go forth today and know. Just know. What do you know? Just go forth and know. I don't know what to know. Just know. You know you, right? Just know you. Just know you. And tonight, I'll meet you right here again at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will read chapter 3. Oh, beloved love troll. Honey, you gonna have to catch the replay, but you know I love to see you. I sure do. What are we reading tonight? Out of this world, but we're reading chapter 3. Uh, Imagination and Faith, I do believe it is. Something along those lines. But I am excited for that. The only thing I can see now is Orion's belt. The 3 stars. The cloud just came in and took everything. Oh, stop it. That's okay, Orion. I still see you, baby. I still see you. But anywho, you know I'll see you tonight. Listen, beloved love troll, you should see me. I'm sitting in the kitchen and the blind is wide open because it's a big window, right? And I have all the lights off, and all I can see is the three stars now from Orion's belt because it's a cloudy morning. And this is where I like to sit just to watch them. Yeah, it's quite beautiful. But you know how it is. Parenting really is such sweet sorrow. I loathe to leave you, but alas, I must cook some spaghetti for my lunch. I've already got the sauce. I made it yesterday. No, yesterday. Yeah. And so I'm gonna make some spaghetti and take that with me for my lunch at work. And you know I'll see you, right? You know I'll see you. Beloved love troll, you got me cracking up with your emojis. You're so awesome. You you really are. If you want to, I'm gonna put this chime away if you want to. Yes, beloved love troll. No, I was just so happy to catch you. Whether it's for 5 minutes or for a whole hour. Yeah. It's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here today. Yeah, same. Yeah. I got so excited because I was like, I haven't seen her in so long. You're not on my timeline anymore, so I gotta figure that out. Well, uh, you can always catch the replay on YouTube too, you know, like that's where I'm at. I'm I'm even on Twitch. Like, oh my God, really? Yes, I am streaming on Twitch right now too. So we're getting ourselves out there, you know, we're getting the principles out there so that other people can, you know, learn and sharing them. Oh, you guys, I was complaining the other night because I was looking out that upstairs bedroom window and my neighbors across the alley, because we share an alley, right? And every night I complained and I said, God, can't you just turn off your outside lights? Why do you need them on? I cannot see the stars. And do you know it just dawned on me because I looked across? Their outside lights are off. You have to understand, they're on all night long. All night long, they're on. Because I complain about them every night. And last night was the last night I complained about them because I was upstairs looking out the window and I could not really see all the stars. And I was like, ugh, just turn off your lights. And I just noticed that their lights were off. The thing felt is the thing experienced. I really was annoyed that I could not get the full effect of the stars. And now here I am, and their lights are off. I just noticed it. Like, because I turned to look at the under window, because there's a top and a bottom. And I was like, wait, it's dark back there. So hold fast, y'all, right? It's the power really is in the mundane, what we would call mundane. That makes no difference to anybody to have those alleyway lights on or not. But to me it does because it obscures my stars. It really does. And all I want is a dark back there so I can see. And I got it. And I got it and I didn't even notice. Until just now, I saw my harvest. You see, that seems like, oh, that's so insignificant to you. But to me, it means the world. Because it was my desire. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. Your desires matter. Yeah? Your desires matter. You do not judge them and say, oh my God. No. Anywho, that just really, I just turned and noticed it, and I was like, wait, it's dark. And so I was compelled to tell you. Wow. Anywho, don't let me keep y'all. Don't let me keep you. I gotta go and boil this water and get the pasta so that I can get out the house. And on the road again and head off to work, you know? I want to sing it, working 9 to 5. I work 7 to 4, but I go and I really do have a good time at work. It's busy. Oh, yes. But I have a great time when I'm there because I take the good time with me because I am the good time. Ow. I learned that from my granddaddy. He says it doesn't matter about the job, it's you. You can't say you hate the job. It's not the job. You bring life to the job. But listen, I'm done preaching. Because if I don't get up and boil this water, there's no little fairy in my house who will boil it for me. So I love you, and I'll see you tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will read chapter 3 before we fall asleep. It's funny because you guys get to watch me fall asleep because that's my bedtime. And I yawn through the whole thing. Sorry. But anyway, I look forward to seeing you tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Twitter, Fanbase, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. There you go. Love you, and I'll see you tonight. Mwah. Twitter is closed.